P1, if a
Uh,
moral theory T explains our deeply held moral intuitions better than any rival theory in plausible real-world cases, we had good reason to accept that theory T. P2, plain scholar consequentialism provides the best explanation for our moral intuitions in real-world cases. P3, no competing moral theory explains moral intuitions as well as plain scholar consequentialism. C1, therefore we have good reason to accept plain scholar consequentialism as a justified moral theory. C2, therefore plain scalar consequentialism is the most plausible moral theory overall. P4, according to plain scalar consequentialism, if that normative theory of action were true, it would tell us that a moral choice A action is morally better than another choice B if and only if the consequences of choice A producing a greater net balance of welfare compared to the consequences of other choices. P5, plain scalar consequentialism tells us that if the practice of most abortions would bring about better consequences than anything else we could do in that given moment, all else equal, then the practice of most abortions is morally plausible or morally permissible. P6, the practices of most abortions do bring about better consequences than anything else we could do in that given moment, all else equal. C3, therefore, the practice of most abortions is morally permissible.
what's the inference rule?
It's modus ponens, it says it at the very end.
Can you repeat that one more time?
It's modus ponens. It says it at the end.
Oh,
It's MP 5 and 6.
Hello.
What is this?
um, I disagree that most abortions bring about better consequences.
Yeah, what's the argument for that?
I think they do more harm than good because I think a lot of people can end up regretting their abortion if they realise that.
Yeah, so what's the argument that there would be more regret from abortions than there wouldn't be? I don't think that's propositional at all.
Why not?
I don't think it's propositional. You want me to tell you why I don't think it's propositional?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think that statement can hold any type of truth value that you're able to prove.
Why not?
Because I don't think you can prove the statement. Are you retarded? If you want to concede, we can just, do that. It's fine.
This chicken was gonna get packed up in less than 5 minutes. I think, bro. Alright, this is crazy to unlock.
Yo, Goji, shut the fuck up.
Wait, can you just summarize syllogism?
Summarize the syllogism. Yeah, plain scalar consequentialism basically posits that
Can you slow down when you
abortions are morally permissible. And no other moral theory explains our moral intuitions better than plain scalar consequentialism. Therefore, we ought to hold to plain scalar consequentialism. Therefore, abortion is morally permissible.
I don't see how it follows.
You don't see how the syllogism follows?
Yeah.
Why?
It just
Okay, do you think there's any other moral theory that better explains our moral intuitions?
Aristotle's human essence theory.
Yeah, do you want to give an argument for that?
It's what makes someone human.
I didn't ask you to tell me what it is. I asked for the argument.
I think because it perfectly describes what morality is and where we get it from.
Yeah, I think every moral theory perfectly describes where we get morals from.
I don't think so.
I think that's the point of any moral theory, is to describe where we get our morals from.
Where do you get your morals from?
Under what moral view?
Well, you said any moral. You said any moral view can describe morality well.
Yeah,
So,
any moral theory gives us an answer as to where we get our morality from.
yeah, so it doesn't matter where I ask you What moral view? Under what moral view you get morality from?
Yeah, I'm asking specifically what moral view do you want an answer to?
Well, it doesn't matter.
As to the question of where do I get my morals from?
Yeah, where do you get your morals from?
My intuitions.
And where do you get your intuitions from?
External and internal factors. Do you want like a full argument for that?
Sure.
All right, give me a second.
Wait, are you religious?
Yeah, I'll just give an argument for epistemic externalism. It works just fine. P1, if a belief reliably tracks the truth, and that belief can be epistemically justified, regardless of whether the subject is aware of the reliability. P2, many beliefs are formed by reliable processes, even when the agent is unaware of the reliability of those processes. C1, therefore, epistemic justification can depend on external factors and not just on what is internally accessible to the subject. C2, epistemic externalism is true. And then if we ought to grant epistemic externalism, then we ought to grant that our morals are derived from intuitions.
Can I get into my pro-life?
What?
Can I get into my pro-life arguments?
Yeah, do you want to argue against my arguments first? Or are you just going to grant mine?
I mean, like,
This isn't like a fiction debate, man. You have to like attack my stance.
what can you define what epistemic externalism is?
Yeah, epistemic externalism just means that we can derive knowledge from outside sources.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, give me a second. Chicken, what'd you ask me for?
Wait, I asked you for. I don't know, I forgot.
Good. So do you want to attack my argument?
I think I asked you what the. Oh, I asked you for an example of how you would use epistemic externalism.
What do you mean how I would use epistemic externalism? You
Can
mean
you
how I would
define
like
it
intake
again,
knowledge
please?
from an outside source?
Like, just give an example for it.
Yeah, so you know the Mary Star Room experiment or Mary's Room thought experiment or whatever? Where if Mary has all knowledge of anything relating to the color red, but she's never seen the color red. If she walks into a room and sees the color red, has she gained any new knowledge?
Yeah.
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 So even though she had every single knowledge, every single like piece of knowledge pertaining to the color red, she still gained the external knowledge of what the color red looks like. So she would have gained some external knowledge.
Yeah, I think she still would have gained knowledge if she actually ended up seeing it.
If she what?
Yeah, I mean, I just said if she ended up seeing it, then I think she would have gained knowledge.
Yeah, so that's gaining knowledge from an external source. That's epistemic externalism. You just granted it.
Ah!
Yeah, so do you
Yo,
want to like
Goji,
actually argue against my stance?
Alright, you said you had. Wait, so basically, in conclusion, you can just derive what's right and wrong from your
What do you mean we can
intuitions.
derive what's right and wrong?
Because you get your morality from your intuitions, and morality is just what's right and wrong.
Yeah, and you granted it.
Alright, so and do you think abortion is a good thing then?
I think based on my argument, we ought to grant abortion as a good thing. Yeah.
Alright. So you don't view it as murder?
No, what's your argument for that?
I think murder is. I think one of the reasons why murder is bad is because it denies the future sentience for a human.
Yeah, so you're just going to be using a future like ours argument?
Huh?
You're going to be using a future like ours argument, I assume.
I mean, sure.
He's granting it.
Yeah,
He's granting
so
it.
under what moral view do we ought to grant a future like ours? And why would that moral view be preferable to my moral view?
Because I said it. One of the reasons why murder is bad is because it denies human a future sentience. So, considering you said you have a morality, you know murder is bad. I mean, would you agree that? Would you agree that one of the reasons why murder is bad is because it does deny future sentience?
No, I wouldn't grant that. I'm asking what moral view would I grant that, and why would it be preferable to my moral view?
Because I just think that's one
Scalar
of the.
consequentialism.
I just think that's one of the negatives that come out of murder. Well,
One of the
yeah.
negatives, yeah, based on what like view? How do you grant your normative views for this to be the case? And why should I hold to that view?
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, I think we can move on. So, do you want to like attack my argument instead of making your own argument?
No.
Because if you don't attack my argument, then it goes through and you lose.
There's nothing to attack, like you're
There's
just
nothing to
describing.
attack. Are you serious?
No, there isn't. Other
So
than the
you
fact
don't
that
think
abortion
there's any
is good.
reason to not grant scalar consequentialism?
I mean, I try to give you my argument as to why abortion is bad.
So you don't want to attack my moral view of why we ought to take scalar consequentialism?
Can you define that?
The moral
The
view
last
that
part.
which part?
Whatever you said.
Yeah, give me a second. All right, what specifically do you want me to define?
It was. I don't know. Can you repeat what you said before you went on mute?
Repeat what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So you don't want to attack why we ought to take scalar consequentialism or why we ought to hold to that moral view.
Can you define that last word?
What view?
Consequences.
Scalar consequentialism?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pull up a direct definition of it. Is an ethical theory that judges actions on a scale of rightness or wrongness based on a degree of goodness of their consequences rather than a simple good or bad binary.
I don't see how that's an argument to.
You don't see how? What do you mean you don't see how it's an
I
argument?
don't see how that's an argument to show that abortion is good or bad. That's just
Yeah,
saying
because we ought to
where we
judge
get our
based on the
morality.
consequences of an action.
And why did you say abortion is good?
It's in the argument.
The first syllogism.
Yeah, man, the first syllogism. Obviously not the second one.
Yeah,
Anyways,
sorry,
Chicken, I think we can save the wreck. You kind of just got like beat on pretty badly.